All right. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us again this week for our DietBet Wellness Talk. And once again, I'm Dan Ekblad, and I am a certified master certified wellness coach. And of course, I'm joined by my wife, Jen, who's the facilitator of the DietBet that everyone's in. And she's all set in her comfy clothes. And I'm actually home today. I'm not in a hotel. I've been on the road and I came back yesterday, so I'm really excited to be home and be able to do this with everybody. I would just like to thank everybody who kind of joined us last week, and then the people who've watched the video, our session from last week as well too. And I really want to thank you for doing that. You watched it. Thank you for the comments and the feedback. I really appreciate it. And it was that feedback that helped us kind of pick tonight's topic on handling stress. Also want to thank, man, we got over 250 people in this particular diet bet. If you haven't been in one of our challenges before, we have quite a few step bets and also the diet bets as well too. So kind of watch for upcoming ones that we have coming up. I think we have one right now that's you can still get in on a step bet that's good through this Sunday. And so one of the things about losing weight, what do we got to do? We got to get active. So it's a great way to be able to do that as well too. So tonight's topic is kind of how to handle stress. And normally when I work with my clients, there's quite a few sessions on how they're dealing with their stress and handling it in their lives, and then the different ways that we work together to get them to handle it and cope with it so that stress doesn't rule our lives, right? So we want to work on healthier ways to be able to handle and dealing with stress. So kind of in order to keep our time constraints down, to kind of keep this short and sweet, I'm going to give you some of the different things that I think are some of the top issues and causes for stress, and some of the things that kind of stress us out, what those are. And then I'm going to give you hopefully some helpful ways to be able to handle dealing with stress. So first thing is what's some of the things that kind of stress us out? Number one, money. I think that's probably the top cause of stress in most people's life. Bills, now recently, maybe cutting hours, maybe businesses are struggling, so you're not making as much as you used to, cutting hours, all sorts of things. Money, bills, it's really a top stress causer in our lives. Another one is work, man. So workloads, maybe there's too much workloads. Maybe there's not enough work. That stresses us out too. Working from home. There's a brand new thing that a lot of people never thought they'd ever be doing, working from home. Wow, there's a lot of stresses that can go along with that. Like if you're a parent and now you got the kids staying home because they're not in school. So you're trying to manage your life by, you got to do your job. Oh, wait, then you got to help them get on a Zoom call and do their homework and help them with their homework. And then, you got everything else that's normally been going on. We used to be able to have to go to work, leave the house. It's kind of a nice thing too sometimes, right? So there's a whole new stress level for a lot of people, especially for parents. Also, just sometimes when we're working, sometimes now with everything, maybe you're an essential employee and your workload has really become stressful. And also just the stress of getting out and having to wear a mask and everything like that too. So work, big one, that's a big stress load. Relationships is another one. With our spouses, with our friends, with our kids, relatives, everything like that. Sometimes our relatives and our relationships are our strength, but sometimes they can be a stress as well too. So we have to learn how to be able to deal with those. Just don't avoid the elephant in the room. What's a big stress that's caused us for the last year? COVID, right? Everything from worrying about, oh my gosh, am I going to get sick? Oh, wait, if I get it, am I going to die? Or what about my family relatives? Are they going to get sick? How are they going to get through it? And maybe with COVID, we couldn't have like normal Christmases or Thanksgiving and get-togethers and events, and it's been a stress, right? So we're working on, hopefully that's going to go, get to a new normal or whatever it is. But we all have had to figure out how we handle that stress of COVID. Another one is, I think it's, to me, it's one of the top ones, is stress about our health. Maybe we've had some health issues in the past. Maybe we're dealing with things like cancer or diabetes or some other health issues. Huge stress in our life, right? How are we going to handle this? So, dealing with health issues, also things like lack of sleep, huge, huge stress in our lives, right? For a lot of us who are in DietBet right now, losing weight is stressful. I mean, oh man, I'm carrying way too much weight. I need to lose weight. It's stressful just to think about it. Another one that I help with and I deal with a lot of times is people who are trying to quit smoking or drinking. Just so you know, alcohol sales in 2020 went up 80%. Think about that, 80% just in 2020. And they expect that's going to continue to grow into 2021. Another one is smoking. You know that smoking for years and years and years, since 2007, have been going down between 3 to 4% every single year. Have been going down. Well, guess what? In 2020, they pretty much flatlined. They didn't go down. It was one of the first years in, a long time that they did not go down at all. And so why is that? Because more people there's a lot of stress, so people are still smoking. One of the things I've seen all the time is that people who are either had quit smoking or really on their way to quitting smoking, then COVID hit, and then they end up spending more. Now they're working from home, so now they have more time to be able to go outside and have a cigarette, or the stress. Yep, they're not even thinking about stopping smoking anymore. So that's a huge deal. So when people who have tried to quit smoking, if you're a smoker or were a smoker, you know that the first time somebody pisses you off or there's big stress level, what do you want to do? You want to have a cigarette. And that's one of the things, the addictive things about nicotine. So smoking, drinking, big causes that hurt our own health, but there are things that are out there. So health reasons, huge risk, huge cause for extra stress. And the last one is time. You know what? We just don't have enough time to do everything sometimes, right? There's not enough time in the day to be able to take care of ourselves, to get everything done. And that can cause extra stress as well, too. So now what have we got? So then these are just kind of some of the tip of the icebergs on things on why we have stress and what do we stress about every single day. So let's talk about some of the consequences of too much stress in our lives. So the first one is, get my back down to here. All right. Stress on our health. It's huge. But I want to start with one on here real quick, is negative attitudes. So when we're super stressed out, you get that feeling, that nothing is going to go right? Nothing's going to change, so why bother? Then we get into a rut, and it just gets hard to get out of that rut. We just find ourselves in a negative, down attitude. So stress can cause a negative attitude. So when we're feeling down and just defeated, what's going to happen? We're going to become depressed, going to become sad. We're not going to have a good attitude about anything. And that's a huge one. Everybody can see it. Oh, here they come. They're really downer. Or they just have a bad attitude and they're just angry about everything. So stress can cause that. Another one is that our body releases cortisol. Okay, why is that a thing about stress? Well, here's why. because cortisol is our body's primary stress hormone. It's our fight or flight hormone. I mean, it is from the very time that we were created that it's something that helped us to kind of hold on to everything, right? So cortisol increases so many different things in our body. So it has some good effects. One of the things that cortisol does is that it increases our sugars and in the bloodstream, which enhances our brain. It enhances our ability to repair our skin and our tissues. And basically, it kind of gives us that adrenaline that we need if we have to have that fight or flight situation kind of going on, right? Some of the bad things that it does, though, which is something you need to remember, that cortisol increases our adrenaline, and so it also raises your heart rate, it raises your blood pressure as well too. And because it's our fight or flight instinct, our hormone, when your cortisol is high and you're super stressed and you're trying to lose weight, it isn't going to work because your body is going to retain and hold everything. It's not going to let you lose anything because of your high cortisol level. And we'll talk about some of the things we can do help lighten that load and get that cortisol down later. And the last one is that stress affects our health. First of all, it causes lack of sleep because we're stressed out about everything. It can make you gain weight, right? It can make you not lose that weight. But it also, if you do lose weight because you're all stressed out all the time, that's probably because you're not eating, not sleeping, and it's not really the healthy way to lose weight, not the way we want to kind of do it. Stress raises our blood pressure, which leads to heart issues, headaches. Stress causes headaches. Stress also has a lot to do with our digestive tract. So when you're overstressed, it can cause ulcers, too much stomach acid, cause IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, because we're so stressed out. And once again, if you smoke, you drink, remember that a lot of times you're probably going to be doing more of that because you're stressed out, and nicotine makes you crave more nicotine, all right, because it helps calm you down. So the other last thing that stress is a big thing about is that it causes depression. And depression is a whole nother issue, but you know that the effects of depression on our not only our mind, but on our body can be great. So we have to be able to know of ways to be able to handle that and seek help if that is becoming an issue. So let's talk about some things that we can do to relieve just a few of those things that are causing the stress in our life and how to get out of those, all right? So this, here's some things, kind of my top 5 things that we can kind of do to help relieve, and some things you can do to relieve the stress in our lives. So first one is take time to say thank you. That seems a little bit odd, but say thank you and just remember that everything that you have, remember that you have a place to live. Remember you do have your health. You're alive. You woke up this morning. That's a great thing. You have your family. You have friends. Be grateful for everything that you have and all those things around you. And in the morning when you get up, look in the mirror and tell yourself thank you, and remember and be grateful for what we have. That's a really big thing. Don't take it for granted. My dad used to say he'd get up in the morning and check the obituaries and see if his name was in the paper. If it wasn't, boom, it was going to be a great day. You have another day. You have another chance to be able to make it a better day every time we get up. All right, so say thank you. Now, number 2 is remember to say no thank you. Kind of a contradiction, right? But you need to take time for yourself. Don't make yourself get overcommitted. for those of us who are always wanting to be busy and we always say yes all the time, and we think we're functioning, super good whenever we're over busy. My motto used to be, if I can't overdo it, why do it at all? Right? But what happens is that we just don't make time to take care of ourselves. So it's not selfish to take time to take care of us. Matter of fact, I think it's the opposite when we don't take care of us. I think we're being selfish by not taking care of ourselves. Because if you're the caretaker in your family, and I'm sorry, but I'm probably speaking to like 90% of the women that are on this, because you're probably the caretaker in the house. You're probably taking care of the kids. You're probably taking care of the big kid, might be your spouse. And plus you're working or you're working around the house. You're taking care of everything. And what happens if you go down? Who's taking care of you? If you're not taking care of yourself, then you're going down, then what's going to happen? Right? So once in a while, you just got to say, I would love to be able to help, but I just can't do it right now. Get used to saying things like that and just say, you know what? No, thanks. I just can't do it right now. I'd love to be able to help, maybe next time. Use that time to take care of yourself. All right. Next one. And this is a big one, guys. You got to sleep. You got to sleep. Sleep is super important. Real quick story. This week had a huge week of work, and I was super, super busy. And because of the shifts I was working that I said that I would commit to, I had a real lack of sleep for this week. I won't get into the very few hours that I had, but you need to do it. You have to be able to arrange it to be able to get some sleep. I will tell you that last night I had a great night of sleep. I had about 9 hours, and today I killed it. Felt great. Really helps us stay refreshed and basically refreshed is the best thing I can say about that. So your bedroom. Think of your bedroom as having two purposes: sleep and, sorry, most of your adults, sex. Okay, just keep it in there. Just use it for that. If you have your office in your in your bedroom and things like that, not a big proponent of that. If there's a room you can use as an office, try and find it, but keep it separate. Put the cell phones down about 30 minutes before you go to bed. Put some calming music on in the room. Even have some essential oils going. Great. There's a lot of different ones you can use for sleep. Helps calm the room down, making it a safe place. That's what you want to do. I'm also a big proponent of setting a time and making bedtime kind of a more routine to help reset your internal clock. So if you know that, 10 o'clock's the time, then 10 o'clock's the time. If it's 9 o'clock, whatever it is, but make sure you're going to bed early enough so you can get a good amount of sleep every single night. Another thing is, if you can't fall asleep right away, or for some of us waking up in the middle of the night, then if you can't fall asleep, rest. Think about this. Just turn off your mind as best you can. Turn it off. And then kind of focus on the nothingness, the darkness of the room. Breathe and relax. If you wake up at 2:30 in the morning, man, you just can't get back to sleep. Probably one of the last things we should be doing is getting on our phone, right? Or doing something like that. If you can't fall asleep, rest, relax. Sleeping is basically relaxing, right? So do that for yourself. Take that time and just start zoning down. Try to clear your mind. And if you can't clear your mind, if there's those things that are going on in your head, my wife will always remind me that I can't fix that problem at work at 2:30 in the morning, because it'll still be there. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning when I get up, right? You can't do anything about it in the middle of the night, no matter what we think we can do. you're not going to do anything about it. So there are great mindfulness techniques that you can kind of work with. There's lots of different sources for that. That'll help you clear your mind, get those things out of your head, and relax, rest, and guess what? You'll fall back asleep. All right. I think the biggest one I think for number 4 for me is exercise. Exercise does so much for us. It releases the endorphins that help us reduce the cortisol levels in our body. It also helps us feel better, not only physically, but mentally. Do you ever hear of the runner's high, right? You will feel so much better. It relieves so much stress. So do yourself a favor. Go for a walk. Do an at-home workout. Go to the gym, but do something for yourself for 20 to 30 minutes a day. I don't care whatever it is. Do something for yourself that gets you active and busy at least between 20 and 30 minutes a day. If you can do more, awesome. There's so many different things. You want something to do like free things online. If you have a YouTube channel, you got a TV that you can do that. There's so many free things you can do following workouts and different, at-home calisthenics, body weight stuff you can do for yourself. Try it, do something for yourself, exercise for at least 20 to 30 minutes. All right. It will help you not only helps you your stress level, but it also helps you sleep better as well too. Now, my last one kind of for tonight that I think will help relieve stress. And it's the simplest one. Doesn't cost you anything. You ready? Smile. Honestly, smile. You know that studies show that smiling releases endorphins. It's a natural pain killer, and it releases serotonin. Together, these 3 neurotransmitters make us feel good from our head to our toe. Not only these are natural chemicals in your body and they control your mood, but they relax your body and reduce physical pain. So here's the best drug I can give you, and it's free, and it's right here. Smile. Smile, because if you smile, people around you will smile. If you need something to help you get along, you know what? Listen to a funny podcast. Listen to something. Watch a funny, comedy show or something like that. Get yourself to smile. Think about all the wonderful things you have in your life. Think about that you woke up today. You're healthy. You're happy. You can get going. Be positive. Stay positive. And my number one thing to be able to help you relieve stress is smile. Smile through everything. All right. So I hope this helps a little bit. Try to keep it a little bit shorter tonight. If you guys have questions on anything, please send us a note, comment on the video, and comment on things that you'd like to have me go through on our next one for next week. All right. If there's certain time slots that work better to be able to try and want to watch this live, please let us know what those are as well too. We're open for you. We're here for you. Be able to help you, give you some helpful tips and tricks to be able to try and get through this particular diet, and also maybe give you some help to be able to adjust your lifestyle to be able to be happy and healthy throughout the year. So once again, thanks for joining us today. I appreciate it. And good luck with your diet. Keep going, everybody. We'd like to see everybody staying in it. So we will talk to you next week. And it probably might be the same time next week as well too. So, but once again, we're here for you. Let us know what works good for you too as well. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. And thanks for joining us.